Hi. Oh, we're
I love
matching,
it.
both wearing
I
black
know.
tops.
I saw your Instagram story. I was like, we
Yeah.
totally got the message.
Yes. Let me move back a little bit. Happy
Hello.
Monday.
Happy Monday.
How are you?
I'm good. I am getting everything plugged.
Yes.
I like the daylight situation because
Yeah, the lighting is way better.
the lighting is way better. Yeah. The lighting is so much better.
Hello, hello, everyone joining in.
Hi. We're just gonna wait for a few minutes, like a minute or two, and then we'll get
Yes.
started.
I like your makeup today.
Oh,
It
thank
looks super
you.
good.
Thanks. You too, girl.
Thank you. I've been breaking out like over here from masks lately. It's so frustrating.
That's been like everybody always has been saying that. Do
Yeah.
you use like a disposable one or you like,
I use a reusable one,
okay, yeah,
but I
it's
only
tough
use it once,
because,
so
oh, okay, good. Yeah, it's tough because you have to like rewash it, but yeah, it's been like
yeah.
definitely an issue.
I know I have like so many masks though, like on rotation, so I just like use it once and then wash it and then just grab a new one.
Yeah, nice. I know. I think all
Yeah.
of us have had like at this point we have like a whole wardrobe full of masks.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yes. Hello. Happy Monday to
So
everybody
we
who's
really
joining.
wanted to do this live on a Monday to kind of just like kickstart the week on a good and positive note. I'm excited because we're both like content creators and I feel like we both have a lot to share.
Yeah.
And our other live went so well. I got like such good
Mm-hmm.
feedback from it and I was like so inspired to like do more. So I'm really excited.
Yay, awesome. Yeah, we're excited to have you guys. Julia and I have been almost creating about the same time. So I feel like between her and I, we have gained a lot of information. So I'm really
Mm-hmm.
excited to share it with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we do some intros?
Yeah, we can kickstart.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. My name is Julia, and I'm a content creator and also the founder of a wellness lifestyle brand called The Mantra Co. My intentions are to empower people to be their highest selves and their best selves, and I love to create content that supports that.
Awesome. Yay. I'm Karen. If you guys don't know, I'm a creative content creator and a holistic wellness advocate. My mission is to really inspire and empower women as well to, live their most vibrant lives. And I do that through my content, through mindfulness, wellness content, movement, beauty tips
Mm-hmm.
as well. And really, I believe in nourishing yourself from the inside out. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the philosophy I follow.
I love it. I love that we're both like in the wellness space and also we
Totally.
do like content creation too, like on the side as well, like freelance and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
this should be an interesting conversation.
Yes. And we have a few questions lined up. So we have a
Yeah.
format. And if you guys have any questions, just drop it in the comment box and then we'll
Mm-hmm.
be touching back base.
Yes.
Yeah.
So should we just begin
Yeah.
our
Mm-hmm.
convo now? Okay, cool. So our first topic is all about content. And the first question that we wanted to kind of discuss is how do you stay balanced with your page plus other businesses? Because I know that you also, in addition to your page, you also have other side businesses, side hustles, and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And I know that can definitely be a lot on your plate all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you stay balanced?
Yeah, I feel like this is something I'm constantly working towards. I don't know if I've
For sure.
completely figured out that like secret balance, but I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing for me is to time block because I
Mm-hmm.
do have so many other, commitments and businesses going
Mm-hmm.
on. I try to, really dedicate a certain amount of time when I'm doing content creation. That's all I'm doing for like
Mm-hmm.
3 hours time. Or if I'm doing, working on other businesses or I'm working with clients, I'll focus my attention
Mm-hmm.
on that. But I think that's the most practical tip is we all obviously live really busy lives and adulting. I think the best way is to just schedule it and put it in your calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, I agree. I love to batch create too. I feel like that is like really
Mm-hmm.
a big strategy that I like to do just because I have on my mantra page, I post about like 3 to 4 times a day,
I
and
see
that can
that.
definitely be a lot. Yeah.
I'm just like, girl, how are you pushing out so much content?
Yeah, it's a lot, but actually we'll talk about that later too, like what
Yeah.
apps I use too. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like batch creating is like definitely like my biggest like tip for anyone that is creating content because you can create if you dedicate like 3 to 4 hours, like you said, like if you block out that time and you plan ahead and you have like all the content that you want to shoot, you can really crank out a lot of content that you can, spread out for like the rest of the month or so or the week or whatever
Yeah,
it may be.
totally.
But yeah, I definitely try to stay balanced through doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a struggle. It's definitely like still a learning thing because there's just so much to do. And honestly, like even with like creating content, you kind of get inspired at different times too. So like even though you may,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
block
I
out
can
that
so
time,
relate.
yeah, like you might get inspired like at another time and then want to create then.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just like, yeah, it's a work in process, like figuring it all out and like just trying to do the best that we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's entrepreneurship. It's a lot
Yeah,
of just like balancing so many different roles and
right.
wearing so many different hats. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I
For sure.
totally agree. With that being said, obviously, entrepreneurship, there's so much of it is dealing with your own, whether if it's like your own insecurities or different things, but
Mm-hmm.
what do you feel like is the best way to deal with imposter syndrome? Because that's something I feel like a lot of us can relate and
Yes.
something
Oh,
that we're
for sure.
constantly working towards. Is there something that
Mm-hmm.
you have like practices in place that you try to do?
That's really interesting because as like a content creator, like we get inspired from like other people's content too. And like
Totally.
it's really
Yeah.
important for us to like stay authentic to ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like really key when we're creating is to make sure that we're creating things that we believe in and that is like aligned with our style and our vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But from other people, like maybe if they're inspired by us, like I love like hearing that, my content inspires people or, they get inspired to create something similar. Like I love
Yeah.
hearing that feedback. It's like a really big compliment for me. But I definitely have had some situations where some people may have like copied a similar piece of content or like even the language
Yeah.
that I use. And then they kind of coin it off as their own without any credit. And that's definitely
Mm-hmm.
very frustrating at times.
Yeah.
But I feel like as creators, we have to kind of, build that like thick skin and know that
Mm-hmm.
our content is like good enough for us and that we are creating for us, not for other people necessarily.
Yes.
So yeah,
Snaps.
it's like it's definitely frustrating too to see that, but
Yeah,
I
I
think as
can
long as
totally
we are
relate.
like in tune with ourselves, we kind of just have to be like, it's okay, like you can copy
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but at the end of the day, like our content is going to be different than if someone else were to create the same content, because it's coming from us.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can so relate to that. I think obviously content creation, whether whatever industry you're in, whether it's like wellness or fashion, it is very oversaturated. And I think
Mhm.
the biggest thing as I've kind of evolved and like developed has been to really just tap into myself because
Mhm.
really there's nobody who has your same experience, your same
Exactly. Yeah.
exact creative vibe, the way that you look at
Mhm.
things. So I think the
Right.
more that you can just hone in on what you do and what you're really good at and continue
Mhm.
to develop that, that's the way that you can work through feeling like, whether you're not good enough, it's just pushing
For
through
sure.
that. And to just like, and even like on practical, like daily habits that I like to do is,
Mhm.
doing affirmations. So throughout the day,
Mhm.
it's like I'll have certain affirmations like ping me on my phone. So I'm aware of
Yeah.
that because,
Right.
yeah, it's not only on like your creative level, but on like, your mental level too, that you're having to
Right.
kind of push through those like insecurity blocks. So,
Yeah, because definitely like
yeah.
creating content takes a lot of like time and energy for us to create. And like,
Mm-hmm.
definitely when someone like copies it or imitates, it definitely can be discouraging at times. But I mean, I totally agree with everything that you said.
Yeah.
What do you think is like the key differentiating like factor when like creating content?
Ooh, I think it's kind of, I mean, honestly, I think it's kind of what I said before. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
you know, I follow like a lot of different entrepreneurs and different things like that. But I think first and foremost is on a business level, understanding who you're talking to. Like, who are
Mm-hmm.
you talking to? Are you talking
Right.
to, you know, are you talking to women? Are you talking to men? Understanding
Mm-hmm.
what your niche is. So if there's certain
Mm-hmm.
things that you really love to do, whether it's you know, you love working out, but within working out, what sector do you like? Is it Pilates? Is
Right.
it yoga? So I think really just kind of like understanding your interests, doubling down on that, and not being
Mm-hmm.
scared to really just throw yourself in that niche. And
Mm-hmm.
again, it's to really know yourself, because I think a lot of times, even for me, when I first started creating, it was like I
Mm-hmm.
was so inspired by so many other people. And then you
Yeah.
forget that, you know, oh my gosh, there's like a whole nother side that I can tap into in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
my own creativity. So I would just say, understanding your niche, who you're talking to, and really knowing yourself on a deep level, so you're able
Yeah.
to communicate in a way that people, you know, can really relate to,
Can
and that
relate
is
to. Yeah.
really like uniquely you. So,
Yeah, I feel like finding your voice is like the key.
mm-hmm.
And also like authenticity is key. Like for
Yeah,
anything that you create,
100%.
like, you
Yeah.
know, people can read that like, you know, so easily. So I feel like that's super important to like know what you believe in, your style and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it definitely has taken a long time to kind of develop that. Like I feel like it is like an
Yeah,
ongoing process
100%.
to like,
Yeah.
you know, like whether that be through like your editing or like your captions, your language, whatever you're like speaking about. I think it definitely can evolve over time. But yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
that definitely the differentiating thing is to like just be yourself, like be authentic.
Yeah, it's so cliche because we hear it all the time from like,
Yeah, but
you
it's
know,
so
so
true.
many, it's so true, whether it's like podcasts or, you know,
Yeah,
videos or different things, but
right.
it's so true. It's really just being yourself.
Yeah, because I feel
Yeah.
like, you know, sometimes I'll have these times where I'm like looking at my content and I'll be like, okay, maybe it's not performing as I want it to. So let me try out like creating something like this, you know, like something that I think will be trendy or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't really respond the same as if I were just to post something and create something that like I believe in and that I like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like there definitely is
100%.
like that difference to that.
And I think also too, you are going to attract the right people for you,
Mhm.
because
True.
everything is like energy. So if you're on a frequency where you're trying to emulate or be like somebody else, and you're totally
Mhm.
forgetting who you are, the type of
Yeah.
people who you're attracting, you don't even, that's not even the market and
Yeah.
the people that you want,
Right.
you know, in your community. So I think that's another
Mhm.
reason why it's so important to just, what you're saying, create what you like and what you truly believe in, and where you think you're going to make the most impact. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm learning that too because on my personal Instagram, before I even started to like really like create and like promote like products that I love and things like that, it
Mm-hmm.
was just like my personal page, you know, just like
Yeah,
with my
totally.
friends and my family. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like as you evolve too into like a creator, you're the things that you're posting may not, you know, be of interest of your
Yeah.
previous followers, but that's just like a little like learning thing and a growing pain that you kind of have to go
Yeah,
through before you
totally.
get to reach like your, you know, your audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as you continue, I feel like, going off of that, as you continue to evolve, you're just,
Hmm.
again, going to be attracting the people who are interested. Because even for me,
Right.
when I think about people that I maybe followed 6 months ago, and I
Hmm.
try to edit, like, you know, just out of my own, keeping my vibrational frequency in harmony, is that when
Yeah.
I look at people that I might have followed 6 months ago, I'm like, yeah, I'm not in alignment with that. So I think,
Right. Yeah.
again, you're just going to keep attracting your tribe as you're,
Hmm.
you know, growing and you're evolving. Yeah.
For sure. What inspires you like when you create content? Like where do you go for
Oh,
inspiration?
yeah, I think there's a lot of ways I get inspired. I mean, obviously, definitely Instagram, because there's
Yeah,
so
for
many
sure.
amazing creatives on here, and literally anything under the
Hmm.
sun you can find, whether
Yeah.
it's like food, beauty, makeup.
Hmm.
So I definitely think Instagram is a great way to tap into that. But I love, on a digital platform, I love Pinterest as
Hmm.
well.
Me
I
too.
love creating like mood boards. I
Yes.
love also, you know, going old school and looking at magazines and just seeing how
Hmm.
they do their
For sure.
editorial layouts. And then just life in general, just, when I
Yeah.
travel, I mean, obviously right now, given the pandemic, we're not like
Yeah.
going on crazy trips, but I love
Right.
just gaining inspiration, even going to certain places like architecture,
Mm-hmm.
buildings, music is a huge thing for me. I
For
love
sure.
getting, like having good music when I'm creating
Mm-hmm.
is key
Oh yeah,
to just
for
like put
sure.
me in a good vibe. So I would
Yes.
say, yeah, there's like multiple ways. I think as long as you kind of continue to edit and like harness what you really like, and
Yeah, for sure.
you'll just keep getting more and more inspiration. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, I totally agree with everything that you said. I also love like getting inspired just like by conversations like this, like that we're
Yeah.
having. I feel like every time I like leave a conversation, just talking about business or creative or things like that,
Mm-hmm.
I just get so inspired to create more. I
Mm-hmm.
always leave these conversations with like ideas of like what more we can do, like what our
Yeah,
next talk is
totally.
going to be. I always
Yeah.
just get so inspired. But yeah, I agree with you. Like Pinterest is huge. For my
Mm-hmm.
mantra page, like I do a lot of quotes and inspirational things and sayings.
Mm-hmm.
So I always go on there because it has like so many different things to
Yeah.
grab inspo for. And then whenever I am doing like a content day or batch creating, I will always refer to Pinterest and make my own mood boards for like what
Mm-hmm.
poses I want to do, what location, what angles, and things
Yeah.
like that to kind of like help like direct whoever is shooting me or whatever. I love doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Pinterest is the one. If you guys aren't on Pinterest, you should be, because it's
Yeah, for sure.
amazing.
On my personal one, I think like last year I grew it to like 1 million monthly viewers on just on Pinterest. And
Word. Yes,
it was
girl.
crazy because like I just like
Yeah,
reposted like stuff on Instagram to there and it's just like a whole new world over there. Like it's crazy. The amount of
totally.
like connection and reach like that you can get over there is pretty insane.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very underrated too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about like other platforms? Like are you on other platforms like TikTok as well?
Yeah. Okay. So currently I am not on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I am on Clubhouse. I'm like starting to
Mm.
kind of use it. For me personally, I feel like I have so many things going on. So I
Yeah,
think for me, I would rather make sure that I have like Instagram on lock before I start
for sure.
running off on another platform.
Mm-hmm.
However, I obviously TikTok has blown up. There's a lot of creators that I know that has also been able to grow their following because they're doing cross promotion,
Yeah, for
creating
sure.
on TikTok and then obviously just
Mm-hmm.
using that content and then bringing it over. So I
Yeah.
definitely think in terms of cross promoting yourself and going on different platforms is good.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think there is always going to be a pressure of keeping up. There's always going to be new
Yeah.
platforms. There's going to be the
Yeah.
new best thing. So I
Right.
think a lot of times as creators we feel pressured like, oh, we're going to fall off if we don't go
Right.
on Clubhouse. I mean, soon enough you'll be, that's like five platforms like Instagram, YouTube,
Yeah,
TikTok, Pinterest,
for sure.
Facebook. It's a
It's a
lot, girl.
lot.
It's a lot. So my recommendation just kind of for other creators is to
Yeah.
start slow, go on one platform,
Mm-hmm.
lock it down, and then from there start creating on different platforms as well. And
Yeah.
I think that's also a good way to again cross promote and also bring your content from whether you're creating videos on TikTok and then bring it over so you're not having
Mm-hmm.
to do twice the amount of work. But I definitely
Yeah.
do believe that, obviously with the algorithm and different things like that, it is pushing towards video.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just had like my previous live, I talked with my friend
Yeah,
Kyla
I
and
saw
she's like
that.
pretty big
Yeah.
on TikTok. Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a really interesting conversation because I like don't know, like I'm not really I have a TikTok for my personal and mantra, but it's not
Mhm.
really growing as much as I would like it to. And
Mhm.
it's like, TikTok is like a whole other world. Like it's just like I don't really understand it yet and I'm still learning about it.
Mhm.
But yeah, like you said, like it is a lot of pressure to have to create on another platform. It's like
Yeah.
you have Instagram, I have Instagram, I have YouTube as well. Like YouTube videos take forever to like film and edit. It's like
Oh,
a whole
yeah.
other world too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said too, like short form content is, the future, I feel like, and that's just
Mhm.
like, that's where TikTok lives. So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
eventually I want to create more on TikTok, but as of right now, Instagram is definitely like my main focus because that's kind of where, the community lives and
Mm-hmm.
where we can really create like beautiful things that we like to create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the balance is maintaining your mental health as well as
Yeah.
creating, because you can get burnt out real
Oh, for
quick if you're trying
sure.
to do 10 things at once.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the juggle of
Yeah,
trying to create and be on different platforms.
for sure. How do you like
Hmm.
stay balanced like with your mental health and, balancing, creating and all these different platforms?
Yeah, I think honestly my mindset has shifted a lot. I think as I've matured and grown and evolved.
Hmm.
When I first started, I would, you know, get so deterred if, some like posts aren't performing well and
Right.
different things. But I think the biggest thing is you kind of have to remove yourself from that. Obviously, there is business involved and you have to look at your KPIs and your like
Yeah.
analytics. But I think
Hmm.
there has to be a sense where you need to be able to cut yourself off from your work, because
Hmm.
going back to what you said is that you're really not, you're creating obviously for your community, but it's
Yeah.
out of your own interest too. So I think my mindset has shifted a lot. Just being in a healthier mindset is that I'm not attached to my self-worth isn't attached to whether my
Mm.
post
100%. Yeah.
performs well. So
Right.
that, and then I try to limit my social media. So there's actually a way on your iPhone that you can set restrictions, so I try to do that as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
But of course it's kind of hard when your job is social.
Yeah. It's like all on social. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are kind of my key ways. Yeah, what about you?
Me too. I definitely try to limit as much as I can. I mean, I do have to constantly be on Instagram, on my phone, like answering to DMs, comments, and things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
But I try to, take as many breaks as I can. I think that like having a great, strong like support system is really key too. Being
100%.
in like
Yeah.
this like social world, relating to mental health too, because the people around you will definitely help you to
Mm-hmm.
stay grounded. I have a lot of
100%.
people like family and friends that, remind me like, hey, take a break, or like, hey, you need to eat, or, let's go do something. And it's like a really nice, refreshing way to kind of get off your phone and just kind of like be present and like live your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think both of us can get lost in just like sitting in front of the computer and just grinding it
Yeah,
out.
like
So
for
it's
hours.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so important. I totally agree to take those breaks.
For when you're creating too, I want to ask you like what equipment do you use? What do you shoot with? What do you edit with?
Yeah, honestly, iPhone all the way. I
Hmm.
think it's interesting because again, like I think we came in at the same time, and when
Yeah.
we first started, it almost like you weren't taken seriously if you created iPhone content.
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
it was like you had to have a DSLR. It
Hmm.
had to be a certain, resolution, or it had to look a certain way, like it was shot by a
Hmm.
photographer. And
Right.
now, obviously, I think as culture shifts, as we evolve through
Hmm.
the pandemic, I mean, tripod has been king,
Hmm.
right? Or queen.
Yeah.
Tripod and self timer
Self
and like
timer. Yep.
self timer, or like the self timer remote, and you'd be
Yeah.
shocked like how much amazing content that you can create off of
Yeah.
your iPhone. And if you know how to get good lighting and angles and
Hmm.
edit, you're
And edit.
golden.
Yeah,
So I
for
think
sure.
for new content creators, don't feel like you need to buy the brand
Hmm.
new Sony, like alpha camera to like
Yeah.
stay relevant, because everything
Right.
has shifted so much. And I think your iPhone can do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I actually like have my cameras here to show you guys too. I have the Sony one.
Oh, I
This
love
is the
it.
Sony A6500. I think you have a similar one too, right?
I do. Yeah, I have it with 35 mil. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is a 30, but honestly, like I don't use this like at all. Like
That's
only
what,
if I'm shooting
yeah,
like sponsored content or like
exactly.
for
I
a
was just
brand,
gonna
yeah,
say
like then
that.
I will definitely be using that. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're on the go and you're out, like you just have your phone and you don't want to like lug around like a really big camera. So I always use like my iPhone too.
Yeah.
But I've also recently been using the Canon G7X camera. This
Oh, I
one
love
is actually
that.
really, really
Okay.
good. Yeah,
Nice.
this has
Do
really
you
good
shoot your
reviews.
photos off of that, or do you do vlogs? Because I know it's more like
So
considered a vlog
yeah, it's
camera.
really good for vlogs because it has like the flip up camera.
Yeah.
But I've been recently just shooting some content and then video vlogs as well, and I've been like really liking this one. With this,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of has like a little like wide lens like view,
Oh, nice.
like built
Yeah.
in, which is nice.
Oh,
And then
that's
also it
cool.
kind of like smoothens your skin with the lighting. It kind of auto
Yeah,
adjusts.
Canon's
And
really
with
good
this
about
one,
that.
like I don't even have to do any edits. Like honestly, I literally just like fix the lighting a
Mm.
little bit, and then it's like good to go. So I
You
really
know,
like this one, and this is compact too.
yeah, also too, I think both of us can relate to this is that if you're asking your friend or your like boyfriend to help you shoot
Hmm.
something, sometimes it's a lot of work to bust out the camera, get
For
it on
sure, yeah.
manual, excuse me, get it on
Hmm.
manual and adjust the settings. So I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever I can do to help you
Oh yeah, for sure.
to just make it easier for you because if we're getting out the DSLR and like trying to do all of that, sometimes it's so much work to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I always like do like mood boards too. Like if like my boyfriend's helping me shoot, I'll be like, okay, can you take like this photo, like this angle? And
Yeah.
I kind of have to like map it out for him just so I make sure like he gets the shot.
Yeah, totally. It's like do that, but let's take about 10 more.
Yeah, for sure. I need
Yeah.
options. You just said boyfriend duties.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. What do you like to use to edit your photos too?
I love, honestly, my editing style has changed so much, even
Mm-hmm.
within like 2 years or a year and a half. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my edits come from within, if you go on iPhone, like the photos and you click edit,
Mm-hmm.
there's like you can adjust that.
Oh
I
yeah.
use that for most
Mm-hmm.
of it. Also 10 more, yay. And my boyfriend also said as well. Um, I also love Lightroom. Lightroom, I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of people are realizing how awesome it is. And you can
Mm-hmm.
also, within Lightroom, you can create your own presets or have the edit, and you
Mm-hmm.
can literally
Right,
edit,
right.
copy, and paste it on everything,
Mm-hmm.
which I really love. Visco, I really only use Visco for grain. And then
Mm.
Tezza is really good too. Tezza is
Mm-hmm.
like such a good, she has really, really great filters. But I
Yeah, that's
try
the one that I
not
use too.
to, yeah, I try not to have too many filters on my photos now. If I
Mm-hmm.
have a filter, I'll literally put it on one or two or like three at max.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Same. I
Yeah.
only use Tezza app actually.
Oh, nice.
That one, yeah, I love. I just love like I think it's called Softy is the filter that I pretty much use on like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I definitely like for my personal Instagram, I definitely use that filter, but then I lower like the brightness.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of make
Yeah.
it more like moody and like, mysterious.
Yeah.
But then for my mantra page, I still use the same filter, but I do like up the brightness and because that's a different audience. It's more of like a bright and airy, like positive, like super
Yeah.
positive, like very happy. So I kind of try to keep it streamlined between both of my accounts, but then also
Mm-hmm.
like, differentiate it in some way.
Yeah, I totally see that what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
similar vibes, but there is a difference in terms of like what you're saying exactly. Like the
Mhm.
lighting and the way that you edit it, it's slightly
Mhm.
different. It's same enough where it's like same brand, but it's different
Yes,
enough. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and like also I want to mention too for like shooting if you are like a new content creator, things like that, using your iPhone for video too, because I feel like nowadays a lot of the content that is, more popular or that people are resonating more with is just like real content, just like authentic, just like
Mm-hmm.
in the moment. Like you don't really have to do much editing. It's just like just record and like put it out there. And I feel like
Totally.
when you have your iPhone, wherever you are, you just shoot a picture and that's kind of just like your content right there. You don't have to do
Mm-hmm.
too much planning for it.
Yeah, exactly. I think less is more. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely plan, but again, like it's so different from when we started to now.
Yeah.
Just the style and the way that people are consuming content, it's just so different.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
for in a way it's better because to your point, it is more real and authentic and it's not,
Hmm.
you have to hire a photographer and get all these,
Hmm.
spend so much money. Yeah.
For sure.
Hmm.
How do you stay organized with like everything, like all your content and all
Oh
of your
yeah.
work? Do you
I
have any like
my
apps
Yeah,
that you
my
use?
life runs like I literally run my entire life on Google Drive. Like
Me
everything. So
too.
Google Drive is queen. I have
Yes.
a folder for all my things and then within that folder I'll have different subfolders, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
business, due dates, or digital assets. So I'll have everything
Mm-hmm.
organized on Google Drive, which is awesome too, because if you don't have enough memory, it's literally like pretty much like an iCloud. So you can have
Yeah.
everything live on your Google Drive. And the great thing
Right.
is that the app is so seamless on your phone. So if you're out
Mm-hmm.
and about and you need to look at something, you can go on Google Drive to access that as well.
Mm-hmm.
For PM, like project managing, I love Asana because
Mm-hmm.
it's, well, if you're by yourself, I believe it's, if it's under a team of three or something like that, it's free. If
Yeah.
you have more people managing, honestly, I think it's worth it
Mm-hmm.
to invest in it. Obviously, it's your business. You should be investing in the right tools. So Asana for project
Yeah.
managing, because it's really seamless. You can assign projects to different people. You can write
Mm-hmm.
how high the priorities are, different things. And then last thing is, if you're working with clients, I like using a time tracker. So Harvest is a really good one.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
it can be a little bit on the pricier side.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, again, that's going more towards if I'm like managing clients. But for myself,
Mm-hmm.
really just Google Drive, Asana. If I'm working with clients and I'm having to invoice them, Harvest is really
Mm-hmm.
good. And also you can create invoices within Harvest as well. So it's a time tracker
Oh,
and
okay.
invoice. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's what I like to do, use for clients. Hmm.
Okay. I'll have to look
What
into
about,
that Harvest.
yeah, yeah. What about
I
you?
use Google Docs as well. I actually also just bought this like external hard drive like thing that's cloud based, so I can kind
Hmm.
of
Oh,
log
that's so
in from like
cool.
wherever I am. Yeah, and also like it's good. So if you have like a team and you're like working from home, everyone just can log in and kind of like grab all
Oh, that's so
the
awesome.
files and the data. Yeah, so I haven't set it up yet, but I'm really excited to use that because when we shoot
Hmm.
content, there's so many photos and like so many edits and like I'm doing so many graphics. So this would be really
Hmm.
good for the people that I work with to kind of like access that. And then also for posting on Instagram, I use the Later app. Have you used that before?
I use an app. I cannot think of the name right now, but yeah, I also use like a planner app as well.
Yeah. So I
Hmm.
really like the Later app. I think it's only like $9 a month, which is pretty
Hmm.
affordable for everything that it does for the plan. So since I do post like 4 times a day on Mantra, I do
Oh
use
yeah,
that app to
absolutely.
auto post. And
Yeah.
that has been like a game changer for me because I can
Hmm.
schedule out posts for like a week at a time or a month at a time or whatever it may
Absolutely.
be.
Yeah.
And then it's really good because it'll hold all of your media assets, your videos, your photos, and it also
Hmm.
gives you a lot of analytics too. I know like a lot of people like think that, auto posting will kind of ruin your algorithm and whatnot, but I honestly have not seen any like changes between that. I think it's really just comes down to your content that is what the algorithm like picks up on.
Hmm.
Um, but I really like using that if you have a lot of content to schedule. And then I also like using the app.
Hmm.
That one I
Yeah.
like for my personal, just to like kind of plan out my feed because I still like a really like nice curated feed
Yeah,
for everything to
totally.
kind of like flow seamlessly. So I do use that just to, organize my photos and just like see
Hmm.
which one I want to post like next and things like that.
Yeah, totally. I think having a automated schedule is key, especially
Mm-hmm.
for the amount of like content that you're pushing out. There's just no
Yeah.
way. I think for our personal brands, it can be a bit more relaxed and we can just like, just post it within Instagram. But if you're running
Yeah.
a business account or you're even running a client account, like what you're saying, like
Mm-hmm.
Later app or Hootsuite, like having something
Oh yeah.
automated where you can pull the analytics is so key
Mm-hmm.
because you're trying to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I love that.
yeah.
Um, let's talk about some brand partnerships and collaborations.
Hmm.
I feel like with our pages, like we are content creators, but then we also fall into like the influencer category.
Yeah, totally.
And on Instagram, there's definitely many ways to monetize your account, and partner with different brands you believe
Hmm.
in. And so, what ways do you do that? Like working with brands? Like, how do you work with brands? Do you do
Yeah,
affiliate links? Do you do,
yeah,
sponsor posts, things like that?
yeah. What's interesting is most of my brand partnerships, I would say 90, of them, 98%, like almost all
Mhm.
of them have reached out to me. Like
Mhm.
I've done some outreach, but to be honest, a lot of them have outreach to me, which
That's
uh,
amazing.
I don't know how, every single content creator business is different, but most of
Mhm.
my partnerships have been because they've reached out to me. They're like, hey, we really love your
Mhm.
content. We really
Mhm.
resonate with it. We would love to work with you. And then from
Yeah.
there, whether you're a brand ambassador or you're doing sponsorship posts,
Mhm.
we'll start going from there. Or if it's because they want to send you product and different things. But yeah,
Right.
definitely doing like affiliate links is great. If you're
Mhm.
at a place where you are doing sponsorship posts, obviously having a media kit is so key. So you're
Oh
ready
yeah, for
to
sure.
pitch yourself. And there's again, like there's so many different ways, like Amazon program,
Mhm.
I feel like everybody now, especially because of the pandemic, it's been like Amazon Central. So I think if
Mhm.
there's certain things that you absolutely love, like creating a page and doing different things. But yeah, there's so many um, companies and businesses that offer like a brand ambassadorship program,
Yeah.
or creating, Bitly URL links where you get a
Yes.
percentage
Yes.
of sale. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like also for us, since we don't have like the swipe up feature yet,
Mm-hmm.
because we're under 10K, the link in bio thing is like a really big thing for us to be able to
Totally.
link the products that we, want to promote, or if we have an affiliate link.
Mm-hmm.
Affiliate links are like really big, I feel like, for this space right now, because it's a way for us to monetize our account, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the brands these days I feel like aren't really investing in like a sponsored like feed post or story post as much
Mm-hmm.
as, let me give you some product, let's see how your audience reacts to it,
Totally.
let's see if you can convert.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I've been noticing too recently is that, influencers are actually essentially like sales reps too, like for these
Oh
brands,
yeah,
you
totally.
know
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
with like the growing like affiliate programs, things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
ambassadors, like we are trying to, push these products, but the
Mm-hmm.
key is to, pick the right brands that you want to work with and
Yeah.
that you do believe in. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
saying no to a lot of brands is definitely empowering too, because you don't want to promote something that you don't believe in and that your
Yeah.
audience may not resonate with.
100%.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree because, when you are starting to get brand partnership deals or collaborations, it's so important to really know what your brand pillars are and what your mission
Mhm.
is, and understanding your audience, because I feel like between both of us too, it's like I say a no to a lot of things
Mhm.
because I know, like for instance, I would never promote a diet tea. That is like
Mhm.
everything that I'm against. I would never promote like
Yeah.
a diet tea and be like, oh, like even if they offered me like $1,000, I'd be like,
Right.
A, I don't
Big
believe in it.
no.
And B,
Yeah.
like my audience knows, like I'd always talk about, nourishing yourself with like real food.
Mhm.
Like I would never,
Right.
so I think it's really understanding who your audience is and who you are,
Mhm.
and continuing to have integrity, because
Mhm.
depending on who's listening to right now as well, it's like we go through a vetting process. Just know, like, if there's anything
Right.
that's landing on our pages, it's not like, oh, they just gave me free product, let me promote it. you
Mhm.
know I think we're really careful about how we select partnerships, who we want to work
Yeah.
with, if it's in line with our values and mission statement and our
Mhm.
communities. So I think, yeah, it's all things to keep in mind.
Yeah, and I think it's great
Yeah.
that the majority of the brands like reach out to you. And for people that are starting out, if that may not be the case in the beginning, but a tip would definitely be to, start creating content that the brands would want to repost on their feeds. I think
Yeah,
that's like a really big thing. It's
absolutely.
kind of like you have to study the brands that you like want to work with to see like what their style is, what their angles are, what they're really posting and looking for, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
from a brand perspective, they're looking for, more content, obviously, as a
Yeah, of
content creator,
course.
they're looking
Yeah.
for content to repost and things like that, and also people that are aligned with their customer base. So that's like a really big thing. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have like a brand that you really want to work with and maybe they don't want to sponsor you or they
Mm-hmm.
can't give you product, but it's a product you believe in, or if you have it already, definitely try to create content with that product and kind of just show them
Yeah,
like, hey, like, tag them, send it to them, DM them, whatever.
that's
it may
That's a
be.
huge thing. Yeah, I even for me, like if it's on Instagram stories, it's something that I actually love, and I'll
Yeah.
tag them. And a lot of times, if they're like, okay, we totally are in line with what you're doing,
Hmm.
they'll reach out. They're like, hey, we saw that you posted. Like, we'd
Yeah.
love to work with you. So if you are a small, like starting off, that's such a great way to kind of get your, foot in the door. Yeah.
Hmm. For
Hmm.
sure. Where do you see like the future of, content creation, social media, like the influencer space?
Yeah, it's like Black Mirror. It's gonna keep growing. I don't think that this space is going to like die out any soon. I think
Yeah.
there's just more and more people joining. I don't think that that should discern anybody from not creating, but I
Yeah.
think the space is evolving rapidly. I think the
Hmm.
way that people are marketing now, I mean, has completely changed. Like the digital landscape, everybody,
Hmm.
like traditional, they've reallocated their budgets to digital. And
Yeah.
what you said, like, I think the biggest reason why people do want to work with like influencers or content creators is because people trust your word when you
Hmm.
say, hey, I really think this product works. Like
Yeah.
that goes a long way, even for a lot of content creators that I really love or influencers that I love. When they go, hey,
Hmm.
this works and this works for me, it's almost like brings like another seal of approval, and it
Yeah.
humanizes the brand. So I think in
Right.
terms of how marketing is going, how the landscape's evolving and it's growing, I think it's going to continue to grow. I think there,
Hmm.
when I read like stats and things like that by 2022, I mean, it's they're like in terms of influencer budget, they're reallocating so much of it. And yeah,
Hmm.
they're just, I think it's just, I think we're in the beginning. I don't even think we've like hit the ceiling. I think this is
Yeah,
going to
for sure.
continue growing. I think
Yes.
there's going to be more, you know, more like changes and partnerships and things happening.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. And I feel like short form content definitely is
Mm-hmm.
going to be taking over. More shorter videos like reels. I feel like Instagram will definitely be adding in a lot more like different features of different ways that we can create content just
Mm-hmm.
to, stay relevant and keep people on this platform as opposed to going to a different one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could definitely see like in the future like tons more like social media like sites like
Yeah.
popping up that you have to create for. But I think it is really key to kind of have like one home base network to kind of just like
100%.
have your
Yeah.
community, build that, grow that, and then just have the other ones to kind of like support it and just like, so that
Mm-hmm.
you can stay relevant and stay, reaching as many people as you can.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah. As far as for, because we are in a space of we are, businesswomen and creators, how do
Hmm.
you divide your time? Because obviously for digital, marketing and digital posts, there's the
Hmm.
back end of it where it's like analytics, KPIs, hitting your
Yeah.
goals, targets,
Hmm.
reach, impressions. And then there's the other side where it's like, I just want to create, and you want it to feel organic and
Yeah.
have the process of that. So how do you try to split your time between both?
I'm still trying to figure that out too, trying to
Yeah.
find that balance.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm pretty organized and I can thankfully multitask too. I think that's like a really big blessing of a skill that I have. So I can get a lot of things done at like one time.
Hmm.
But just staying organized and kind of like time blocking it out, like making my schedule every day. I have like
Hmm.
in my notes on my iPhone, I just like every day I have all my tasks of whatever I need to be doing.
Nice. Yeah.
And I kind of like just have a good mix of doing, admin work, creative work, things
Hmm.
like that, kind of like managing my team and everything like that. But I also feel
Hmm.
like as we grow as creators and, business women, like growing a team is really important. And that's something
Oh,
that I'm like
yeah.
learning. I'm like at that point where I like need to now have people to depend on because I'm getting to a point where it's like almost too much for me to handle, everything,
Hmm.
doing both the
Yeah.
creative and the business side. And I obviously want to grow, and that's how you scale. So
Hmm.
that hopefully will be happening soon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
How about for
definitely, I
you?
think, yeah, I would agree in terms of same thing. Luckily, because I have a background in digital marketing, I know the
Hmm.
back ends, and I
Yeah.
have worked on agency side. I've seen the brand side. So
Hmm.
I think that does give me an advantage because I
Yeah,
understand how to build a foundation, you know,
definitely.
to have a successful business, or to,
Yeah.
if you are building a community, you know, having like a really good base. So I think
Mhm.
that's definitely a blessing as well, you know, being able to kind of wear multiple hats. But yeah, to your point, it's,
Yeah.
you, when you look at companies, when they hire, like for Apple, they have a creative agency, and then they have an, you know, someone
Mhm.
who's just handling the
Yes.
analytics and the numbers. So I
Yeah.
think it's definitely like switching between like my left side of the brain and the right side of the
Right.
brain. So I
Mhm.
have to, again, I think the best way, to your point, is literally just time block and just focus on one
Mhm.
thing. Because if I'm trying to like create and I'm like, okay, let me look at this, it's like
Mhm.
my attention and focus is like I'm not going anywhere because I'm trying to do too many things at
Right, right,
once.
right.
So on a
Mhm.
practical level, yeah, I think it's just, you know, really, if you're going to focus on creating, just focus on that. Like get in the mood, do
Mhm.
that. When you have to focus on numbers, look at the numbers. And
Yeah.
then I think having systems in place, like every month, whether it's like revisiting, like you have like an Excel sheet and it's like different things that you have to check off every month.
Mhm.
That's kind of like a good business tip. That way you're keeping
Yeah.
yourself accountable.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's like what you said, especially for your business. So key is having a really great team and like being able to
Mhm.
delegate and project manage, because
Mhm.
you know they're really going to be the ones that's helping you scale. Especially because you know when you are a business owner and entrepreneur, you're wearing like 20 different hats.
Yeah,
So you want
for
to
sure.
be in a position where you're looking at macro and looking at big picture
Mhm.
items, so you're able to like
Mhm.
move your
To
business
grow.
forward. Yeah, but it's tough because you know finding the right people and all of that is a whole nother
Mhm.
task of its own. Yeah.
I know that is like my hardest thing too, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
also, trusting in someone else to help you create or help you, grow something that you have built yourself, is definitely
Absolutely.
something that we have to, practice and learn. But I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's just, it's part of the journey. It's part of growing.
Yeah, I think what actually has helped me in terms of delegating when I hire people to assist me is I
Hmm.
have like a formula already. And I know for you too,
Hmm.
obviously, because there's no
Yeah.
way you'd be like pushing out five, you
Yeah.
know, 4 to 5 posts. Is like once you have a formula on lock,
Yep.
you just give that, you give all the
Hmm.
steps, your Asana, give it to somebody. That way it's like
Right.
crystal clear. Like
Yes.
this is what, you know, you're getting hired for. These are your assignments. These are your
Yeah.
tasks.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to, like, another tip to, you know, hire people and kind of just like
Hmm.
delegate and give more tasks to others so you're
Hmm.
able to free up your time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to create like, a manual for, your
Oh,
next person
yeah.
that you're onboarding, like I love to just like write out all the steps and like as it changes, I'll go through and edit them just
Yeah,
to,
that's awesome.
keep it fresh and updated so that yeah, when I do have someone that I can help do something, I'll just be like, here you go. Like here it is. This is how you do
Yeah,
it.
totally.
It'll be easy. Yeah.
Onboarding is key. Just having all of that in place. So you're like, okay,
Hmm.
here you go.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
like going to be really interesting too to see like us grow and kind of move into more of like, the entrepreneurial route and like a
Mm-hmm.
business, woman. It'll be interesting to kind of talk about that too. I think that could be like another conversation as well.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Do you have any like exciting opportunities coming up? Any projects that you want to share?
Yeah, so I'm currently getting certified as a holistic wellness
Oh yeah.
coach. So I
Mhm.
started last month, so I'm doing a 6 months accelerated program. So I'll be finishing that in September. But
Mhm.
actually, simultaneously, I'm building a program right now. So
Cool.
that should be launching summertime, summer
Oh,
2021.
I'm
Keep it
excited.
hot, keep it fresh. Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm really excited. That's going to be an all-encompassing for wellness, and
Uh-huh.
within that realm there'll be like different products that I'm offering as well, like different products and services. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm in the
That's so
kind of the,
exciting.
yeah, I'm in the groundwork of that and just getting all
Yeah.
like the foundation built. Yeah. And
Yeah,
of course, like
cool. Well,
on
let
the,
me know how
if,
much how I can help.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And then on influencer, like content creator side, just
Yeah.
continuing to work with like different brands and, you know,
Hmm.
making sure that I'm giving really good, you know, value and advice and tips to my community
Hmm.
and continuing to grow that way. Yeah,
Amazing. I'm so
yeah,
excited for you. I can't
yeah.
wait to
What a,
see like the final project.
Yeah. What about you? I know you have so many great like products coming out and
Yeah, I
different
showed
things
you last time I
launching.
saw you. The
Mm-hmm.
planner is coming out. I'm so excited for that.
Oh,
It
nice.
should be arriving, I think, next month, actually. I think that's when
Yeah.
I should be getting my first shipment in.
Oh,
But
that's
I'm
so
making a
exciting.
journal slash planner. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It's gonna be, it's called the Soul Work Planner, and it
Oh,
has
I
a
love
daily
that.
planner
Yeah.
section, some calendar
Mm-hmm.
to keep you like stay organized, as well as weekly check-ins and reminders. It's kind of like an
Mm-hmm.
all-in-one notebook that you can kind of keep
Mm-hmm.
at your desk or take on the go. And it's super, super cute. I'm really excited to share more about that.
I feel like you're like organizational queen, maven. So this is so perfect for you.
Yes.
It's you, it's a product that encompasses you.
Yeah, for sure. It
Yeah.
has everything. It has mantras. It
Yeah.
has your planning things. It also
Mm-hmm.
encompasses a gratitude journal as well, mood tracker,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Oh, I
So
love that. Yeah.
yes,
I'm
I'll have to
excited
give
to
you
see
one
the
too when it comes.
final. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so exciting.
cool. Okay, so as we wrap up this conversation, wow, it actually hit almost an hour.
Wow, it just flew by. Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
it was so
joining
fast.
us. Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. Let us know if you have any questions. You can send us a DM, and let us know if you guys want to see any other topics for us to talk about. We can go on another live. I think this is really fun.
Yeah.
We'll do another like Wellness Wednesday one for sure.
Yeah. Yay.
Okay.
Thank you guys for your
Yay.
time. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya, girl. Bye.